What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna take a look at what's to come in Crossout, because today they finally released their last devlog. There's gonna be a ton of changes and some interesting updates as well. The first one is we're getting crossplay, the long-awaited crossplay, but it's a big but. It won't affect the PC players. Crossplay will only be between the consoles, so PlayStation versus Xbox. You will be able to play PvP, PvE, clan confrontation, and even clan wars, but of course there are a couple of rules attached to this. Like I mentioned, you will be able to play clan wars, PvP, PvE, and clan confrontation, which is cool. You know, PlayStation, Xbox, all of them will see each other. Now, they did not mention anywhere if there's still gonna be matches with 6v6 or 8v8. I hope it's 8v8 because I know you guys have been missing the 8v8. Also, another cool change is the exhibitions will also be cross-play or cross-platform. So there will be one shared exhibition for all consoles. That is pretty cool because I get a lot of comments of people on, I believe, Xbox telling me that they can't find any cool builds on the exhibition because nobody posts anything. So this is pretty cool. It would be cool if the PC players could also have their exhibition there, but hey, it's at least a step in the right direction. There's some techno babble here about the merging of the exhibition, resetting the previous winners or something like that. Personally, I don't think it's a big issue. Whoever's won, and they already got their rewards anyways. The only issue I see here is they mentioned the blueprints that fall under those three conditions will probably be removed from the exhibition. So if their authors haven't logged on into the game for over a year, and if the blueprints haven't received a single vote or download in 6 months, this one I do not understand. I'm not sure if old blueprints will also be like synced up, or if it's only gonna be the newer ones. So if it's only gonna be the newer ones, that does kind of suck, but I think it's still a positive change in the right direction. And here goes. Not all aspects of the game will be shared. Like the markets will still remain divided. I had an idea that would happen because market prices are vastly different on all platforms. PC, for example, is very cheap. The consoles, everything is like double the price or even triple the price. Maybe even more. I'm not sure. I don't own a console, so I can't check, but I know the console players are really struggling in that area of the game. They also mentioned that in-game chat will also remain separate, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's okay. Now, something that is strange is they won't be able to invite each other into a group. Now, that is strange. That would be so cool, but the fact that you cannot do that kind of sucks, to be honest. They also mentioned that players from different consoles won't be able to join in one clan, which kind of makes sense in my opinion. And they're also going to keep the leaderboard separate for console and PlayStation, which I think is also a good choice. So that's one of the big changes we're getting in the next update. Now, I don't think the crossplay is completely finished. I think they might have to still work out some legal issues or some other things. Hopefully we can get crossplay for all platforms, even PC in the future. Now let's take a look at the first devlog for the new battle pass, because the Hyperborea will be coming back, and the first devlog they announced a new legendary engine and a new legendary invisibility module. The invisibility module is pretty interesting. So from what I've understand is you'll have a total invisibility time of 30 seconds per match. You can activate or deactivate the invisibility on command. So if you want to move somewhere, you can just click go invisible, and when you're done, you can click go uninvisible, but the total time will still be 30 seconds. Probably you're going to be able to upgrade it for more time or something like that, but this is going to be a very interesting module. It looks like a weird T shape, so it's going to be awkward to place on your build, but still kind of cool. Still very cool. They even mentioned here you can quickly enable it, break the lock of the homing missiles, and then deactivate it again, and you'll be good to go. So that is pretty cool. So yeah, this might be a very powerful module for lance players or dog players, because they might be able to travel across the map for 30 seconds at least in invisibility. And if they combine that with the Griffin cabin, whew, that's the melees might make a small comeback, but I think they're already back, so rip. And for the legendary engine, I don't see a name on it yet, but it's supposed to increase the accuracy of all mounted weapons and their damage resistance depending on the current speed, which it says here. Those who can reach the speed of 110 kilometers per hour will receive the biggest bonus. That's really fast. That's so annoying to use. So we're gonna have to see how much bonus we get from it, because 110 miles, if it's like 70% more accurate, then yeah, sure, it's fine. But if it's only 20 or 30, it's not gonna be worth it. So this is the first part of their devlog. Let's move on to the second part, where they announced a a new sort of ammunition for invisibility module and boosters, because right now we're using ammo boxes for our boosters, but then we're going to remove that and probably add this thing, but also for invisibility. That's interesting. There's also a legendary medium cabin, which kind of looks like an atom wheel, and we also have structural parts. See, this is the part I was talking about. This is the first time I'm seeing it. Somebody said it was a CK for the Bastion cabin whenever I mentioned this, but nope, it's an actual plow, so that's cool. A massive and heavy durable bumper, and we also have a couple of slopes, which is pretty cool, and composite bumpers, some more bumpers. Ooh, I like that. I like more bumpers in the game. All right, so they mentioned here, as we learned from the first devlog, the new legendary invisibility module will have a limited active time of 30 seconds. The players can use this time at their own discretion, enabling and disabling the invisibility effect. To increase the resource, you will need a special module. Interesting. So is it 30 seconds by default? And if you want like 60 seconds or 120 seconds, you need to add these things. Oh, that's gonna be so dirty. Oh my god. I hope it doesn't affect the Chameleon Mark 1 and 2 as I kind of like how the way they are right now. But yeah, this new invisibility module is gonna be bonkers, man. They mentioned that the size of the cell allows it to be completely sunk in a special niche of the invisibility module. So they're talking about this area right here. So this is where you can put it. Okay, interesting. Maybe it's only one per build. I don't know. We'll have to see. In addition to fueling the invisibility generator, the new module also contains additional fuel that can be used to increase the usage time of all boosters. But this bonus is not given for nothing. And of course, a lucky enemy shot or explosion of the stray projectile can lead to an explosion of this cunning device. Of course, it's ammo box. So yeah, not really any specifics on this module. It's gonna be very interesting. I'll probably get access to the special dev server early, so make sure you guys subscribe for that. But let's move on. The new legendary medium cabin. This cabin is called the Whaler. What a name. So they say for the perk, the cabin absorbs a part of the impulses from projectiles hitting the armored vehicle, nearby explosion, as well as recoil of its own weapons. Why recoil? And converts them into a charge. A fully accumulated charge can be activated, which will significantly increase the damage of your projectiles, their speed, and their impulse on hit. Very interesting. You will deal more damage, you get a faster projectile speed, and you get more impulse on hit. Gonna be good for toadfish, maybe even cannons. Very interesting. Very, yeah. We're gonna have to see how, of course, the numbers. We don't have any raw numbers here, just basically a description of the perk. And then we have the structural parts. This is a massive, heavy, and durable bumper. It's a 5x6x4. So maybe this one will get 50% resistance to bullet damage and blast damage as well, just like the Bastion front plate, because it looks like a Bastion front plate. It's gonna be very interesting. I think we're only getting 1, and for this one we're getting 4. For this one we're getting 4 as well. Very interesting. Like it. Let's move on to the next devlog. And now we have part 3. This one released today. And remember that leak video I did of a Tiger H1 turret with a cryogenic perk? Well, I mean, I kind of wanted it in the game, but I never thought they would do it. But we're actually getting a cryogenic damage system in the game. We have heat already, and now we're getting cryogenic. So my first question is, will there be a special effect if you heat up the target and freeze them at the same time? Is it double damage? Is it quadruple damage? I don't know, but that is very interesting. So we are getting 2 weapons with cryogenic damage. The first one is the Scotty, which is a frost cannon. The second one is the Jotun, which is a cryogenic howitzer. Oh shit. Oh, we're getting 3. And then we have a cryo cannon, the Narwhal. This looks like a tsunami. Kind of looks like an alien spaceship. Bro, cryogenic damage? Damn, that's it's definitely different. So they say it's time to freeze all your enemies.
All right, everyone, chill.
That's right. Now in the Wasteland, it will be possible not only to heat up every tiny part of the enemy cards, but also to cool down the most arrogant enemies down. Similar to the thermal damage, this type of damage imposes a freezing effect that stacks up as you continue to deal or take damage from cryogenic weapons. But what does this lead to? Yeah, exactly. It leads to losing a sense of security that flies away like the northern wind. As the degree of the freezing increases, the part loses all of its resistance and damage reduction bonuses. So if you're using a averter, won't that work anymore? I mean, the Ermac cabin will probably be, nullified. That sucks. Resistance and damage reduction bonuses. So I'm seeing here that if you upgrade an item for more durability, it will be a lot more beneficial than having resistance to all damage, I think. I'm not 100% sure yet. Including damage protection bonuses from various perks, probably the co-driver, and the ability to shot through as well as the damage absorption effect of defensive modules. You can, you could probably, ability to shoot through as well as the damage absorption effect. Okay, so you can shoot through a couple of things. So if I read this correct, this part, the ability to shot through as well as the damage absorption effect of defensive modules. Does that mean if I have like a Mamore, it will become pass-through or something? It does sound scary. We haven't seen the weapons themselves yet. Yeah, it definitely sounds a bit scary. So the first thing is a frost cannon. It doesn't look like a massive cannon, looks more like an auto cannon, but it's probably gonna function more like a median maybe. With this legendary reverse flamethrower, what? All flamethrowers masters will feel themselves in their element. Its operational mechanics are similar to rotary flamethrowers, so you won't have to get used to it for a long time. This weapon releases a jet of refrigerant, which deals cryogenic damage and rapidly multiplies all enemy defenses to 0. Bro, what? Why is it a cannon? It says it's a flamethrower, so it's more like the remedy. Oh my god. Right now, at least with normal flamethrowers, we still get all the perks, all the benefits. I remember my brick, Raxox brick. If a flame dog like catches me, I'm fine. I don't worry because I get my Ermac perk and I'm fine. I can either shoot them or wait for my teammates to shoot them. But with this one, it's gonna nullify the perk of the Ermac or any defensive modules or resistance to damage modules or something that I have. Huh. I'm gonna have to do a lot of testing with this one because this one definitely sounds scary. Flame dogs are already a pain in the butt. And now a cryogenic flame dog? Brother. The next weapon is the cryogenic howitzer, the Jotun. So it's a howitzer, but they mention here, do you prefer to keep your distance and infuriate the enemy by sending mines right under their wheels? So is that a mine layer? A howitzer mine layer? Because they also say it's gonna fire like an incinerator. So either you're gonna have the aiming of the incinerator and you will fire like an avalanche and then it will stick on the ground like a mine. So the description is kind of vague. But let's check out the perk. A puddle of refrigerant will be left at the site of the projectile explosion, which will free the parts of all armored cars that were caught in it. And the speed and the power of their cabins will be reduced by a third. The motor opens up a lot of possibility, especially in team-based environment. And we can't wait to see what sophisticated ways you and your allies come up with to take out your enemies. Yeah, probably a Jotun and an incinerator or something, or cap cans. Dude, the one thing, well, you won't stop, you won't freeze in place, but your power will be reduced by a third, so it might be even better than incinerators. These cryogenic stuff are scary. And next up, we have the cryo cannon, the Narwhal. So they mentioned, like all cannons, it fires a projectile that travels along a ballistic trajectory and explodes on hit. But there's one peculiarity. These shells also contain refrigerant. In addition to its menacing appearance, this turret cannon boasts a good mass to durability ratio as well as 100% penetration ability. When the shell explodes on the enemy vehicle, its parts receive cryogenic damage and freezing effect. As the refrigerant affects the parts, the damage from a projectile hitting them will increase by 100%. So basically like the incinerator perk. Now I'm wondering if it's for this weapon alone, or will all the targets that are frozen receive 100% more damage as well? That's something I'm gonna have to test out for you guys. Mount 2 of these guns on your armored vehicle and the enemy won't forget their encounter with you anytime soon. It's probably gonna be a 6th energy cannon like a tsunami, non-rotatable, kind of looks like the mounting spot for the Starfall. And they also mentioned some new structural parts. Yeah, this battle pass is gonna be lit. Is this a cast side part? Ooh, I like this one for the sides. Yeah, armor plate. Ooh, I like this one as well. Yeah, so man, this update is gonna be wild. A lot of new weapons, a lot of new modules, and a cabin. And I believe if you buy the battle pass, you will get all of that in that battle pass, but you only get one of them. So it's gonna be a very interesting battle pass. But that's not all they're planning to do. They also mentioned some planned balance changes. Like for example, the Icarus 7 stop speed getting nerfed from 90 to 85 kilometers per hour. Lupara is getting nerfed. The white common weapon is getting nerfed. Ammo pack and expanded ammo pack. Now ammo packs don't increase the amount of fuel in the booster. So yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Icarus 4 hovers, increase inertia when turning. Okay. JBRider is also getting a massive nerf. Yes, stop speed getting nerfed and the durability as well, and a couple other things. ML200s are getting a durability buff, but I think they're still a little bit too slow. Pygrams are getting a good buff. Atom wheels are also getting a good buff, but the wheel is kind of sluggish, so I hope they buff it a little bit more in the future. Bigfoot wheels getting a nice buff, but they're also getting a lot heavier, which kind of sucks to be honest. Omni wheels power score is getting increased because it's a very popular movement part. Small track top speed increase and power penalty reduced from 12 to 9. That's pretty cool. Small tracks drive kind of weird, so I never really liked them. but I do want to try them out because Beer Belly Billy seems to do really well with them with his Fortune build. Reinforced Track is getting a top speed buff, 80 kilometers per hour. That's pretty good. Sleipnir, 85 kilometers top speed. That's pretty good. Armor Track from 65 to 70. So with the Golden Eagle engine and maybe the Phobos co-driver, you can get up to 80. That's not bad for an armor track. Oh, that's not the Goliath. Sorry, I thought it was the Goliath track, but still not bad for an armor track. You can go 80. That's crazy. Tank track max speed increased from 60 to 65, so I believe in total of 75 if you add both things, the cabin and the co-driver. And for the Goliath, you can get 70. That's okay. Power penalty also. Whoa, the power penalty was 70%. That's crazy. Crazy numbers. But I like that tracks are getting buffed. Catalina is getting nerfed once again, but I think it'll still be fine. The Blight cabin is getting some of their nerfed reversed because they increase the time to get your perk from 300 to 500 meters. It's going back to 300, which is good because 500 meters was way too long. Perk damage reduced from 35 to 20%, which sucks. It used to be 65, I believe, in the beginning, and now it's all the way down to 20%. I think they're thinking more of the lines of the Fire Dogs, but what about the Incinerator player and the Trombone player and the Mandarin player? Because that was kind of cool. But because of this change, they're increasing the base damage of all fire weapons. We'll get to that in a minute. The Cerberus cabin is getting a perk. While the cabin's built-in melee weapon is active, the damage of other saws mounted on the cart. Whoa. Oh, that's gonna be crazy. Wow, what a perk. Yeah, well, it never had a perk. It just had the saw, which was already kind of a perk. But man, the Cerberus cabin is gonna get crazy. Icebox cabin getting a buff, increase the damage bonus for limited angle weapons from 15 to 20%. In all honesty, it should be 30%. And added a 40% bonus to the rotation speed of the weapon. Those weapons barely rotate, so it doesn't really matter. The Hugin cabin power reduced by 9%. Mass is getting increased, and mass limit is also getting increased by a little bit. Yokai is getting a damage increase. The Yokai is very difficult to use at the moment. Quasar is getting a change. Let's see here. Added a hit damage 65 point and 50% penetration ability. Durability increase, so I believe this is a complete buff. The Akari is getting a change. The effect of the perk now deals damage only to structural parts. I think it was to everything before, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Damage increased from 0.6 to 1.2%. The durability of parts after which damage stops being dealt has been reduced from 25 to 10%. So I believe before it did damage to everything of your build. Weapons, frames, wheels, and now only structural parts, which I guess it's more balanced, I think. But all the way down to 10%, that's a lot, man. They're nerfing the Pyrus again, I believe. Remedy damage increased by 30%. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Flock, the durability reduced from 105 to 41. Yeah, because people were abusing it. Added resistance to explosive damage. Ammo increase. Active range increase. And yeah, the Flock is not as effective, man. I hope these changes make it a little bit more effective. The Tyrus is getting a damage buff by 8%. And the number of charges increased from 7 to 8. I hope they change the sound effect to it too. But yeah, I like this buff. 10 is good. I think 10 is good. Oh, Starfalter is getting a damage buff. Okay. And a durability buff. Okay. The B12 Dove is also getting a buff. Energy getting reduced from 7 energy to 6 energy. Yeah, because that thing is useless. PS reduced from 2800 to 2400. Damage increased by 25%. Yeah, that's okay. They also changed the header and the Mandrake to make it feel more similar, but just a different firing mechanism. So cooldown increased from 10 to 16 seconds, which kind of sucks. And projectile speed reduced by 10% because upgrade changes kind of gave headers a very fast projectile speed, but now it's getting reversed, which kind of sucks in my opinion. Assembler charge time reduced from 2 to 1 second, which is good. Reload time increased though from 0.2 to 1.45 seconds. Pulsar is getting a penetration ability and more durability. Wow, finally. They should increase it just a bit more because the Pulsar is massive. Hurricanes are getting nerfed again. I believe Draco is getting a damage buff because of the Blight nerf. I think Incinerator should also get a damage buff because of the Blight nerf. Yokozuna speed increases from 65 to 67. Mass reduced from 4500 to 3500. Yokozuna still a garbage cabin. Firebuck damage increased. And that is pretty much it. The rest is the co-driver change for Grizzly. The talent is now activated after 2 hits to the cabin instead of 3 to any part of the vehicle previously. The effect lasts for 6 seconds, so it's basically a Ermac specialty perk now. So only the cabin, eh? Yeah, that's kind of a nerf as well. Yeah, basically a perfect co-driver for the Ermac, I guess. So yeah, those are the changes that are coming to Crossout in the next update. Next update should be next week because The battle pass is ending in 6 days, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be testing everything, so if you're not subscribed yet, please consider to do so. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving it a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace.